Hi everyone, thanks for listening. My name is Sarah Angus. I'm 24 and I'm a qualified sports and exercise scientist, and I'm also a clinical exercise physiologist. So I guess I'll run you through my background so you can learn a little bit more about me. When I was younger, I was definitely into fitness and exercise as a family growing up. We did eat really healthily, but yeah, I guess my background is in dancing and gymnastics. So yeah, did that for quite a bit throughout my childhood, but I did fall out of exercise and really lost the love for it. Went through high school and decided that I did want to continue working within the physical education or, just the health and fitness industry. So I undertook and completed a Bachelor of Sports and Exercise Science, and then went on to do my Masters of Clinical Exercise Physiology down in Sydney. After that, I worked for a little bit in the industry. I worked with neurological disorders, mainly MS and cerebral palsy, and I did a little bit as well with high performance sports as well, just with GPS tracking and monitoring training sessions. So it was really interesting, but I did kind of lose my love for health and fitness for a little bit, and I made a massive change in my life and I moved up to Queensland just to do something different. It wasn't until I moved to Queensland that I did notice some drastic changes in my body. I put on 15 kilos, I was really unhappy, and I just knew that there was something that I needed to do to make a difference and to find that fit, happy and healthy self that I knew was deep down within me somehow. But yeah, I did struggle with the motivation to get to the point of getting up off the couch and doing something for myself. It wasn't until my 24th birthday that a friend, Fifi, dragged me along to a spin class in Brisbane. That was probably the first time that I worked out, and it was also the moment that I realised that this fit and healthy lifestyle was what I wanted and was what I needed to find that happy self again and find the Sarah that I used to know. From there, I've always kind of been interested in finding the little tips and tricks to make, finding that journey easier for everyone else out there. I've always loved sharing my knowledge, and I've always wanted to be able to incorporate what I did do at uni into my everyday life, so it didn't really feel like a waste. I'm no longer working in the industry at the moment, but I always wanted to find a way to incorporate what I had learned in a clinical setting into my life and into everyone else's life around me. So I guess, just finding the little things that have worked for myself has been beneficial for me and for everyone around me, and I really want to share them with you guys, hoping that these little tips and tricks, my 12 tips to fit, it's a bit of a tongue twister? Yeah, that's the word. Hoping that my 12 tips to fit will help you guys really build a health and fitness routine that works for you. So I guess this first podcast is really about talking about getting ready to rumble. So gathering all the information that you need to make sure that you are prepared for that, initial step into a gym or into a fitness setting, and just making sure that, you're all over what you're going to be doing to your body and what you want to get from that as well. I definitely think the first hurdle when thinking about getting into a health and fitness routine is finding that motivation. You can't buy motivation, you can't pick it up off a shelf, you can't have anyone else motivate you. You need to find that motivation within you. It's an intrinsic feeling, and it can't be bought, it can't be false, it needs to be there all the time. For me, my motivation started when I looked in the mirror and I wasn't happy with what I saw, but it was also when I started looking back over all the notes from uni, all the information that was out there, and just changing my point of view. So getting rid of all those, burger joints that I had on Instagram, or getting rid of all the, food pictures and replacing them with healthy individuals, and reading through blogs that I really enjoyed learning, that linked back to me and helped me learn more about myself. That's what really gave me my motivation to start working out. However, maintaining motivation is a completely different ballpark. For me personally at the moment, I'm using an activity tracker. So I've got an Apple Watch, and I find that every day this really pushes me to make sure that I'm reaching all of my goals. So the way that it works, you've got 3 different rings that you have to close every day. You've got a stand goal of 12 hours where you have to stand for at least a minute in every hour for 12 hours. You've got an exercise goal, which is like just standardly set at 30 minutes of exercise a day. And then you've also got an activity tracker as well, which varies on what you're doing. So for me at the moment, it's about 400 calories a day that, you're just actively moving around outside of a workout. It also gives you friendly reminders throughout the day as to where you're at and whether you need to hurry up or whether you're on track to get there. So that definitely helps with my motivation, having that external feedback that's constantly buzzing on my wrist, telling me to get up and move around, telling me to squeeze in a workout. That's one of my main motivation factors. But the thing that I like sharing with everyone as a really, really good way to motivate yourself is to find a picture of when you were the most fit or the most happy, or when you felt the most healthiest in your life, and set it as your phone background. I think we spend so much time looking at our screens and we are constantly on our phones. So why wouldn't you use a tool that everyone has in their pocket to be your main motivator and to really remind you of like a goal that you've already hit because you've got a photo of that moment? So, you know it's achievable, you know that you can do it, and whether you want to, be fitter, be happier than that moment, be healthier than that moment, great. Or maybe you just want to maintain that level that it's in that photo. So yeah, definitely finding a picture that relates to your goals and you think will help motivate you, stop you from picking up the Snickers and having that cheeky chocolate bar if you are going to be looking at your phone. If it's going to help, definitely pop the photo up, because it is kind of like that constant reminder of your goals and where you want to be in your life. So that's probably my number one tip when it comes to motivation. And talking about motivating yourself, you really need to make sure that your plan for the week is hole-proof. So being properly planned for your week is also going to help with your motivation, because you have a clear picture on what you're going to be doing for that next week. So you need to, before you start planning for your fitness and your exercise, you need to really look into doing some research about what's going to be working for you. So everybody's different. What I say works for me, works now, but things change and things could be different for you as well. So you need to look into what goals you want to be attacking, where you want to be in 12 weeks, what foods work for you, what you like, what you dislike. You really need to do your research into setting a goal and working out how you personally are going to get to that goal. So everything when it comes to, doing your research is trial and error based. It's going to be different for everyone, but you need to be willing to try different things and just know when you need to find or seek a professional opinion to help you get that bank of information to push you even closer to your goals. Because we all want to be happy, we all want to be fit, we all want to be healthy, but we need to know what's happening to our body, and we need to know what exactly we are doing to our bodies as well. We need to make sure we're doing the right thing and we're doing it in the most safe and effective manner as well. Following on from that, obviously, you've got your motivation, you're ready to go, you've done some research, you know what your goals are going to be, and you kind of have a good idea as to how you're going to get there. You really need to prepare. There's that saying, I don't really know, there's that saying about failing to prepare is planning to fail, or something about that, or failing, whatever. But yeah, preparation really is key. And you don't have to go crazy, you don't have to meal prep every single meal, you don't have to lay out everything on a bench, but you do need to have a really good idea about what your week is going to look like. For me personally, I'll sit down at like 2 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon. That is planned every week. That is my me time. I'll sit down and I'll bring out a calendar, or I'll bring out a grid for the week, and I'll look at, what have I got on that week? What events? Am I going to be working overtime? Have I committed to any, family dinners or friendship catch-ups, all that sort of thing? I'm going to write it down on my grid. Then I'm going to look at, where am I in my fitness planning? Where am I, on my journey to accessing that fitter me, that healthier me? And I'm going to work out what I can do this week to make sure that I am accelerating and moving towards those goals. So for me, what I'll do, I'll go shopping. So I'll sit down, I'll work out what I want to eat that week, roughly, and I'll go shopping. I'll get all the ingredients I need for the week. I won't buy from day to day. It's one big shop for a week, and I'll take it home and I'll lay it out all on the bench. Then what I like to do, because I like to cook fresh, I'll chop up all of my veggies and put them into different containers. That way I can get home from work in the afternoon, open up a container, take a handful of carrots, throw it in the pot. Take a handful of broccoli, throw it in the pot. It's just super, super convenient, and you don't have to do the whole, peeling the carrot, throwing out the ends, all that sort of thing. It just really, really helps to have everything in order and convenience, because convenience is everything these days. Everybody wants everything now and 10 minutes ago, I suppose. So if you do spend that little bit of time on a Sunday just prepping out your meals, knowing what you're going to be making, and even, sometimes if I know that I'm going to have a busy week and I won't have time to cook brekkie every morning, I'll sit down and I'll chop up a carrot, an onion, capsicum, some spinach, some mushrooms, and I'll portion them out into 5 different Ziploc bags, and that becomes my omelette mix. So in the morning, open up your Ziploc bag, empty it out into a pan, fry it off, add your eggs in. There, you've got a healthy omelette for breakfast, and that's all because you've sat down, you've planned out your week, and you've prepared for the fact that you're going to have limited time in the morning. So I do that with I obviously do that with my nutrition, but I also do that with my fitness as well. So I'll book into classes, I'll work out what my workout buddy's doing, which is also a really important thing as well, to find a good workout buddy. So you want to ditch that drinking partner and find your fitness friend, and have them hold you accountable for the plans that you're making for the week as well. So I guess in summary, for my first podcast about getting ready to rumble, it is all about finding that intrinsic motivation. So making sure that you want to be making these changes, but then also doing your research, and then preparing and planning for your entire week, so that your approach to the week is going to be flawless and is going to be as easy as possible, because we all know that convenience is everything. So if you enjoyed my podcast, feel free to stay tuned. I'll be making another podcast after this. I hope that my tips for finding motivation and preparing and planning will be helpful for you as well. Thanks. Bye.